The Chicago Bulls take on one of the more high-powered offenses in the NBA today when they take on the Indiana Pacers. Can the Bulls perform to the level that we've seen their defense perform before, or will we have another dud like we did against the Dallas Mavericks? We want to talk about it all and more right after this.
You are now tuned in to Chicago Bulls Central, your number one place for all Chicago Bulls news and content.
What's going on, Bulls fans? Welcome to another episode of Chicago Bulls Central, your number one spot for everything Chicago Bulls related. I'm back! I told you guys I wasn't going to have a pregame show today, but some things moved around. I'm here today, so there you guys go. I originally wasn't even going to have a pregame show, but luckily God worked it out. I'm here. We're able to have this amazing show. We're going to talk some shit, have some fun, and do only the way that we can do it here at Chicago Bulls Central. But the Chicago Bulls are taking on the Indiana Pacers at their home arena today. Bulls are on the road, and this is going to be a really important game for the Chicago Bulls to kind of just get everything, to get back on track, right? The Indiana Pacers have only won 5 games since the All-Star break. We got to see if we're going to be able to kind of pull it all together. This is the best offense in the NBA, the entire NBA. This is the number one offense right now in the NBA. They average 123 points per game. Now, they also give up 121 points per game. That duality between that is wild. They're also the best field goal shooting percentage team in the league, averaging over 50% from the field, as well as the number one assist team in the league as well. All those things work out to being it's a tough go for the Chicago Bulls defensively tonight against the Indiana Pacers. So the Bulls got to really be ready to go. They have to have a defensive game plan today that takes a hold right when the game starts. They cannot have lapses against this Indiana Pacers team. If you do defensively, you're going to get your ass kicked. That's just the way that it boils down. You're going to get your ass kicked if you are not prepared for what the Indiana Pacers are going to try to do to you offensively. The Bulls got to dig in. They got to be prepared. They got to get ready to be ready to go. All those things remain true for the Chicago Bulls. They cannot have a let up today against the Indiana Pacers, because if you give them a big run without it going unanswered, we can be right back where we were at the end of the first quarter against the Dallas Mavericks. So really important that the Bulls are ready to go at the start of this game. And if they don't, man, it's going to be a tough game for the Bulls. So let's hope that the Bulls can do that, man. Really, let's hope so, man. Woo! I'm not going to lie. I'm a little bit nervous about this game, especially with the way that the Bulls played against the Dallas Mavericks and how they dealt with that offense. I'm just a little worried that the Bulls, if that intensity, if there's a little PTSD in there, if the Indiana Pacers getting on the run, or the Bulls going to suffer that PTSD, and then you always got to worry about Billy Donovan's game plans, man. It's so weird, because the times where I'm like, hey, Billy Donovan he's going to get cook coaching tonight. For some reason, every game that I've ever said that or had that thought, like Billy Donovan's about to get absolutely out coached tonight, he ends up having a pretty good coaching night. So it's just Billy Donovan's such a weird coach, man. Maybe it depends on the brand of bubblegum he chews that day, that it gets those blood cells a little bit more reinvigorated, and then he kind of thinks more on the adjustment side of things. I don't know what it is, man, but we'll see what happens with that. But overall, this should be a fun game for the Bulls tonight. This should be a game where the Bulls, hopefully they come in here with that edge, man. We've seen them play with edge before, and in games where they do that it's always makes it easier for the Bulls. And Kobe and DeMar, unfortunately, they're the heartbeat of this team. They got to keep it going tonight. They got to have efficient shooting nights tonight, especially against an offense like the Indiana Pacers. But he can't put it all on them. We're going to need somebody else to step up, whether that's Io, whether that's Drum, whether that's Vooch. We're going to need another player to step up. And hopefully as well, Billy Donovan uses that bench today. Like, we need to go to that bench, and we need to use it in the right places. And this is a game where I would love to see Andre Drummond play about 22 to 25 minutes. Probably not going to happen. Probably be lucky to get 20 minutes out of Andre Drummond. But when you have Miles Turner, when you have Jaden down there, like that's not teams that you just want to go small against. We're already going to be small with Alex Caruso starting at the power forward if he does end up starting. I don't expect Billy Donovan to maybe start the double big lineup, but this is a game where I think that we'll see the double big lineup, if that makes sense, especially with Pascal Siakam at the 4 there. You got Jalen Smith there as the backup 5. Obi, I'm not too worried about Obi as far as size-wise. I know we got the players to guard Obi Toppin, but, hey, he even has killed us before and gotten hot before. So Bulls got to be prepared for this offensive onslaught that's going to come. They got to be, because if they don't, Bulls are going to get absolutely killed today. killed today. And with that said, the Indiana Pacers are the third worst rebounding team in the NBA. Third worst rebounding team in the entire league. So if the Bulls can rebound the ball well as a team, which I feel like I've said the last 4 or 5 games, it can definitely help go the right way for the Chicago Bulls because the Indiana Pacers are such a bad rebounding team. Like and that's just one of their every great team, right? Or team that has a great aspect has a huge Achilles heel. And the Achilles heel right now of this Indiana Pacers team is that they are the third worst rebounding team in the league. You can't be perfect. Number 1 offense, number 1 in field goal shooting percentage, number 1 assist team, rebounding, they're the third worst rebounding team in the league. Let's get out there. Let's take care of business. That's what we need to do. Let's take care of that business. And they're the third worst defensive team overall in the league. So if the Bulls can play an efficient brand of offense, if they can not have many turnovers, right? Not allow that team to get out in transition, get those easy buckets. This is a game that the Chicago Bulls can win. Am I predicting them to win? Hell no. This is the Chicago Bulls team. I don't predict wins, and I haven't predicted wins and losses since about 4 months into this show being a thing. But the Bulls got to lock in today, man. They can win this game. I'm not saying they will win this game, but they definitely have the capability of winning this game, and they just got to execute. They got to execute. We need players to step up. We got to shoot the ball efficiently. We can't get too down on ourselves. They will go on a run, but the fact is how well do we stop that run, right? Can we score a little bit while they go on that run? Can we keep it from being a 17-0 run and make it like a 17-6 run, something like that, right? Those little victories the Bulls are going to have to get, as well as get those victories on the boards. And if they can, the Bulls can be in this game, man, but it's a big chance that this is going to be an ugly, ugly game. A big chance that this is going to be an ugly game. You guys know I'm a Bulls fan, but I'm not a homer and I'm not an idiot, and I can put respect on other teams' names. And yeah, this is a team. This is one of those games where you got to put respect on the other team's name because hey, you just never know what's going to happen there. So let's see what's going to happen, man. And yeah, let's go ahead and get to your guys' comments in the building. I got money on a win and an embarrassing loss. I can't lose, right? Unless we choose the competitive to be competitive today. Don't be surprised if this ends up being a competitive game, bro. Don't be surprised if this ends up being a competitive game. OTR says, yeah, what's good, Haize? Big game tonight. I know Indies isn't great, but they run an incredible offense. Absolutely amazing offense. Amazing offense that they have. Hold on, y'all. My Ring doorbell went on. I may have to fuck somebody up. Hold on. All right, I ain't gotta fuck nobody up, so we good. What's going on, Ricky? Glad to have you in the building. Drew says shirt fire. I appreciate that. This is a recent purchase, probably within the last 2 months. I think this is only the second time that I've worn her on the show. So only dude covering Bears and Bulls equally. Great work, bro. I appreciate that, man. Listen, that's my two loves, man. I've spent all my life rooting for the Bears and the Bulls. And so, Bears, Bulls, Sox are what I cover here for Chi-Town Sports Central. Big Kev covers the baseball side with both the White Sox and the Cubs. We all cover Bears together as well. And then we got the White Sox, Chicago Blackhawks Central. So make sure you guys stay tuned into all that. Matty Legend says that hat. Listen, this is one of those hats. I bought this hat, honestly, probably about 3 years ago. And I didn't have shirts to match this hat until about 6 months ago. So now I got about like 3 or 4 shirts that go with this hat. But it's one of those purchases where I saw the hat. I was like, I got to get the hat. I'll worry about the rest later. Best shirt raw sale. Appreciate that, Lloyd. Drew says you need to be a model for the Bulls, Haize. I don't know about a model unless they want a plus size model. I don't know if that's really what they want. I think they got Kenny Beecham to be a model. We two things that don't go together. Me and Kenny Beecham, two very different body styles there. Jock says Drummond needs more minutes, especially in a game like this, brother. I will agree with you. Haize said that boy had an IMAX screen forehead yesterday. Hey, bro, that boy forehead was big as shit. I don't even remember his name. That boy shit was big as hell. Y'all need to subscribe to Famo ASAP. I appreciate that, brother. OT Armor, where he does it every game, but he said on this episode today that he may not be able to today because of his son's concert or something. Yeah, and so it got canceled. So they actually pushed it till tomorrow. So luckily, and it's still early tomorrow, so it won't affect the pregame show tomorrow. I was like, hey, I'm not too mad at that. I hate last minute. So as I've gotten older in life, I've realized I hate last minute changes with a passion. Right. So like I hate it. I hate things to change. I could deal with change. I'm not Big Kev where I can't deal with change at all, but I don't deal with last minute change very well. So that's just something that I realize is like a shortcoming of my personality. But luckily, this change actually benefited me, so I'm not too mad at it. So it is what it is there. I feel real confident that we got them today, man. Hey, let's hope so, bro. Let's hope so. I feel like if we just make Tyrese Halliburton a scorer instead of making him facilitate, we could win the game. I mean, Tyrese Halliburton isn't a bad facilitator, but I get what you're getting at with that. Drew says it's the gum. It may be the gum, bro. It may be the gum. It really may be the gum. Last game was embarrassing. I know the game has changed, but height is still important. So make Acme can please get us a few more sizes off. A few more sizes in the offseason. A few more. What are you ordering shoes, my nigga? Like, what are we doing, Melvin? At least 6'10" that can rebound, but hey, we'll see. We'll see. Tyrese haven't been the same since he came back from injury. He came back from injury too early. Let's be clear. Tyrese Halliburton came back from injury too early. And that's one of the things I'm worried about Joel Embiid doing too, is like trying to force coming back from injury too early to help the 76ers on the playoff run or in the playoffs. But you can clearly see that Halliburton should have stayed out for another week or so. He absolutely should have stayed out for another week or so. 76ers are falling. 78 play in revenge. Heat versus Bulls. And hell if Bulls can win the 7th spot. I'd want the Bulls to face off the Cavaliers rather than the Bucks or the Celtics. Just wishful thinking. Hey, listen, at this point, it don't matter. It don't effing matter, bro. It really don't matter. Why hasn't he given Andrew Funk a chance yet? Because he's not good. He's not better than Ernulot Batim. He's not better than Julian Phillips. So we don't see those guys as consistent enough. So that shirt looks new. Nice. It's not new. I think it's only my second time wearing it, but it's not new at all. OTR, I'm aware he does. Oh, you already said that. Sam says, I thought you said you weren't doing a pregame. Motherfucker, just be happy that I'm here. How about that? Be happy that I'm here, God damn it. How about that? Ungrateful bat. No, I'm just playing. Haize, I know you hate when I say it, but yep, I don't feel good about this game. As long as they play with heart, I'll be happy. We need Phillips, Io, Drum, and Batim to step up. Well, here's the thing. Have you ever not been nervous about a game? Like, you just got to smoke some weed, Sydney. Go out there and get you a vape. Get you a vape pen, man. Get you a weed cartridge. Get you some THC in your life. Get you some Delta 9. Get you a gummy. There's no need to be that nervous over the Chicago Bulls. Don't be nervous about it. It is what it is. It is what it is. If I'm Io or Alex Caruso, who's ever guarding Tyrese Halliburton, I will pick him up half court. I think that we tried to do that one game where he hit a game winner, and it didn't really work out too much for us. What's up, Brody? This is a game when I have to see the Bulls fight with effort. There's no room for playing lazy tonight. Completely agree with you. Completely agree with you. Did you see Vooch's comments about defense? Oh, yes. I saw it, and I absolutely will be talking about it on tomorrow's daily episode. Don't you fret, young fella. We will be talking about that because that was a motherfucker. Billy Donovan needs to see Chicago. That is actually pretty goddamn funny. Would you fuck up Miles Turner if he was at your front? Oh, yeah, absolutely. Or he's getting shot, one of the two, but these hands is dangerous. So I usually don't have to shoot people because these hands, they don't play. Sonny in the building says hardest working man on YouTube. Listen, I work hard. It is what it is. Man, listen, if y'all haven't checked out From the Logo podcast, which I do over on Player's Choice, make sure you guys check that out. It's me, Dub, Jaden, Keezy, and then Gifted are all on there. We all host that show. I host on Sundays. It's a really good, fun basketball discussion show. Make sure you guys check that out. I also have, I can't announce that yet. I'm gonna let that go. But if I think they should start Drum. The Bulls bench need Caruso's help. I mean, here's the thing though. Like we said before, the lineup of Vooch and Drum hasn't been good at all this season. They've gotten more rebounds. They've generated more possessions, but they've had a net negative. They've had a negative plus minus in every single game that they've played heavy minutes together, except the game against Memphis, which was struggling. So I get what people say that, but it's not good. It's just not good. Good to hear my sis talking shit. Super Pacers fan. Pray for me, y'all. That's funny. How's your sister a Pacers fan? How did she become a Pacers fan? Where are you from, Corn? I've been wanting to ask you that for a while. Bears and Bulls better not embarrass us in front of Simone Biles next season. That's hilarious. That's hilarious. Daniel Berry Sports Highlights in the building. What's going on, Daniel Berry? Listen, I've seen you in every single Chicago sports podcasters show ever. Like you just always around, bro. Always around. Vincent in the building says, like I always say, I'm not worried about Chicago Bulls getting fucked up, but it does not mean we're going to win. Last game I did not see. Listen, periods are your friend, brother. Punctuation at the end of sentences, at the end of thoughts. Punctuation. What is this? No, it's YouTube. It's not that serious. I'm just messing with you. I did not see that coming, but it's going to be a close game. I mean, let's hope it's going to be a close game. Let's hope it's going to be a close game. Sydney says, I do smoke weed. You need more. Up that THC level. You need a little bit more. Well, maybe not just enough bugs who can rebound. Bugs who can rebound. Bugs who can read. We got rebounding bugs now? Man, I'm telling you, them geneticists is doing a lot. We got bugs that rebound now. That's crazy. Who can rebound, but I would like a few bigs that can defend, especially in the pick and roll, as well as there's anyone out there this offseason that's also important. And I've not to debunk you. You're on point. But pick and roll defense isn't just on the big. And I think we blame the bad pick and roll defense just on Vooch. Well, no, the guard is at fault as well. And that's the purpose of communicating what you're going to do in a pick and roll, right? And I don't know if they're doing that enough out there. Caruso's good at it. Lonzo was amazing at it. And while the other players in Io and Kobe have gotten better, I think that we need better communication at that as well. Speedy says, Dalen Terry need minutes. He had 4 minutes in his 7 minutes. You think he will help the bench as well? I would play Dalen Terry more than Javon Carter right now personally, but clearly Billy Donovan does not agree with that. Hey, you working too hard, bro. Face red, droopy eyes. No, I don't work too hard. This is not work. I could do this all day. Shout out to Captain America. Hey, you're one of the brightest parts of my day when I see your content. I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that, old man Breezes. Glad to have you in the building. Yeah, Halliburton came back because he wanted to get that max contract to play the certain amount of games. I didn't. Wait, no, the certain amount of games is because of max contract. I don't think you have to play a certain amount of games for a max contract. The right now, the max games are just for awards, unless there's a clause in his contract where he has to play a certain amount of games. But generally, you don't have to play a certain amount of games for a max contract. Haize, I may be tripping a little. You are, because you always do. It is what it is. A little bit, but I feel like our defense is totally taking a hit since we taken Terry out of the rotation. I can't say that because our defense was good before Terry was ever in the rotation, but I get where you're coming from. Spicy Butter in the building says, little bro, hope all is well. I really need the Bulls to kick their ass, period. I don't care how. By the way, Jay Phillips needs a freedom pass, Bulls Nation. I mean, it is what it is. Steve-O not on there? Steve-O not on where? What are you talking about? He's about to smoke him off. Hey, listen, every time my Ring doorbell notification goes off, I'd be like, all right, is this the day? Is this the day that I'm gonna have to shoot a nigga? I feel like the reason why Nikola Vucevic and Andre Drummond lineup hasn't worked is because we don't have a lot of shooting. I mean, that's definitely a part of it. Let me be clear. Like, you have to have the right players around that type of lineup, right? And you don't need all shooters, but you need consistent shooters. Now, I will say this. When the games in a row that we were playing that lineup heavily, that was also during Kobe White's shooting slump. So I think Kobe White kind of expanding that defense a little bit more with his three-point shooting, if he's on, would definitely help that lineup work a lot better as well. It's just helping to coincide with games that Kobe wasn't playing the best. So let's hope the Bulls play well. And nice shirt and hat, Haize. See Red, appreciate that, Anthony. Glad to have you in the building. Haize, I'm sorry, but the New York Knicks and the Indiana Pacers are two teams that I hate. I don't give a fuck if they're a good team or bad team. I will never like them. Okay. Yeah, I mean, we all know that Javon Carter is like a cockroach. We can't get rid of him. That is hilarious. Haize, the Pacers are still leading the NBA in scoring 123 per game. Hope we don't get into a shootout with them. We've shown that we can outscore them. We need strong rebounding and defense tonight. That's exactly what I said at the beginning of the show, Dub. Exactly what I said at the beginning of the show. We got big old man Kev in the building. This is gang. Let's get this win tonight. Last game was whack. It was trash. It was absolutely trash. If the Bulls want any chance of catching the Pacers, they got to win tonight. I mean, listen, like me and Pat talked about this over on Locked On Bulls. I don't give a shit about getting to 500 anymore. I don't care. I know that's not what you brought up. So I'm kind of circumventing or co-opting your statement there, but I really don't care anymore. Like, just get as many wins as possible. Let's get to this offseason. The front office got to do some shit to change this team. Just period. Period. The 65 game rule is dumb as fuck. Well, so me and Pat actually talked about this once over on Locked On Bulls. I think it was on Locked On Bulls. That when you look at the history of these awards, typically people who win MVP don't play less than 65 games. People who win Rookie of the Year, there's a little bit more fluidity in that than playing less than 65 games. So what the NBA did is really they looked at the average number of games played, usually by players that win awards, and they just made that a rule. I can't knock it. Once I saw that, I couldn't knock it too much. I couldn't knock it too much. By me being from Chicago, I just don't like Indiana. I mean, first of all, especially because Gary alone is enough for the state of Indiana to be annexed from the United States as a whole. There's the city of Gary, Indiana. That is enough that the whole state should just not be a state anymore. It should just be its own thing. That in Detroit, like we can just get rid of those two states at any point in time. Any point in time, we just get rid of. I'm from Bakersfield, California, and it's a really small town. We don't have any legions towards any teams, but allegiance. This man says legions. But she always had a crush on Reggie Miller, ugly ass, since she was 12. That's funny. That's actually funny. To get rid of Javon Carter, you just got to say his real name 3 times. Rumple foreskin. That was a hilarious voicemail. That was hilarious. We want more Phillips and Beteam minutes. End of story. This is a fact. But I live in Vegas, been here for 18 years. Shout out to you living in Vegas. That's not a cheap city to live in, bro. When I was researching this offseason, Pacers and Magic, now I get a lot of their articles in my feed. That's the downside about the internet, right? Is how everything's connected now. The 65 game rule is not dumb. How valuable can you really be if you don't show up as much as other players? I'll feel you on that one. Gary is one gigantic pothole, dusty as fuck. That and Toledo, Ohio is the same way as well. This is a terrible ass thing. Detroit isn't. I know Detroit isn't a state. I just meant Detroit is another city that's enough to get their state annexed. Like the whole thing kind of ran together there. Like Vincent's typing, it just all ran together there. Gary isn't in Indiana. It's beyond Thunderdome. That is hilarious. Hilarious. Split the 2 previous games versus Indy. Let's get this last 2 versus them. Let's hope so, man. I hope that the Bulls can't get a dub today. Like you guys know, I never vote for or wish for my team not to win games. But it's like, come on, what we doing, man? My son's upstairs screaming at the top of his lungs. I don't know what the hell that's about. But it is what it is. I almost screamed upstairs, but every time I scream upstairs, somebody reads my lips and sees what I'm saying, and then now I'm exposed. I'm out there. I had a dude in college. You had a dude? Shout out to you, Quentin. Versatility. No, I had a dude in college who threatened to have his Gary family drive down to fight. Bruh, I wish. Like, imagine what that means. Yeah, man, I'm gonna have my Gary family come down and fuck you up. I'm about to beat your ass. Before they get here, you about to have your ass beat. They're gonna be too worried about you being in the coma to worry about me. I wish to God somebody would say some shit like that to me. I like fighting too much. I love to fight. It brings me great pleasure to beat a nigga's ass. It just does. Like it always has. That's why I'm crazy. I told y'all I'm reformed crazy. Reformed crazy. I used to be all the way crazy. There used to be a time when we first moved to St. Louis because I was upset over my parents getting divorced. Shout out to my best friend Brian. Literally, there would be times where we'd be sitting there having lunch at school, and Brian would literally be like, "Hey, Haize, I bet you can't whoop his ass." I'd be like, "All right, bet," and I go start a fight. I love to fight. Therapy. I'm a product of therapy. Therapy works, people. Therapy works, but I can go to the old me real quick. So I wish somebody would. See, I just got pissed off by reading that on your behalf. Listen, y'all gotta leave people alone. Leave people alone. I wanted Sengun to pair with Kobe to have Jokic Murray 2.0, but damn, he almost broke his leg. Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. The Windy City Bulls hooping. We can use Sanogo. Shit. That's at least 6 hard fouls. That's funny. That's funny. I'm a reformed hooligan myself. Hey, it's something special about being a reformed deviant. Like, that's just what I look at it. Sengun and Kobe on the same timeline. So why not? The NBA is a copycat league. I mean, listen, that would be a great pairing. It's never going to happen. It's never going to happen. I literally told him, okay, they can visit you in the hospital when they get here. That's hilarious. That's funny. Haize, keep that pipe on you at all times, my guy. Don't need another King Von situation. Keep it on you at all times. Listen, here's the thing, bro. Here's the thing. This is real talk. Real talk. This is all jokes aside. I'm crazy. I wish somebody would. That's the motto that I live by. And people be thinking like Haize be going off because it's on the internet. Those that have been around me in person absolutely know. I'm always ready at all times. This ain't nothing about being on the internet. Me and Pat almost fought Jimmy Butler at the UC. Real talk. LOL, Big Haize about that lifestyle plan. Listen, I'm telling y'all. Little bro, if someone comes for that smoke, call you big bro. I'm down for that. I'm old school for sharing under that 5. I appreciate that, bro. Bulls Daily says, hey, say my name is Finley and I love to fight. That's hilarious. Gary is terrifying. It looks like all the belching smokestacks in warehouses seeping toxic waste. That may be why they're so angry over there. I agree, Haize. Don't care if they make it to 500. I'm more so care if they play hard in the play-in playoffs. At this point, listen, I'm not going to lie to you. I want, go as far as you possibly can. But if the Bulls don't make it out the play-in tournament, it's not the worst thing. Get that lottery pick, my boy. Get that lottery pick. It's a weaker draft, but I mean, hey, you get your more chances at the apples at that point in time. Oh, okay. Saw a breaking news alert over on the Bears side. I was about to say, what the hell didn't happen now? Better Giordano's when you get here. That's hilarious, man. Do you think Pat can make a realistic jump to a 12-point per game score? Oh, yeah. I mean, keep in mind when Zach initially went down, that month of December, Patrick Williams averaged 14, 5, and 4, if I'm not mistaken, over the top of my head. He has that in him for sure. He has that in him. I still want a story about how you almost fought Jimmy Butler. Please, a video telling the story. Hey, man, that was crazy. That was crazy. That was crazy. What do we need to make us a top team in the East? Shooting and rim protection. I really do think, like, with the right shooters around this team, right, to help extend that, to help keep us kind of more modern, and then some modern shot blocking because we don't have the best guards out on the perimeter. I mean, as far as defenders out on the perimeter, I think that could really help this team exponentially. I really do think that. So we'll see. I actually saw, which I've been hesitating to go back and forth on if I was going to cover on the actual show, but I saw this article and it was actually really well written, saying that the Brooklyn Nets and the Chicago Bulls would be perfect trade partners to flip Zach LaVine and Miles Bridges. And I was just like, that would be perfect for this team. That would literally be perfect for this team. But it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. You know my fight story, and my man was in Cook County for fighting off-duty Chicago cops, where all the problem children in Chicago. Hey, it is what it is. Brazil Popular says, Sanogo with 20.17 rebounds yesterday. He ready. I mean, hey, Marko Simonovic got that consistently too down there. But Adama Sanogo is way advanced. I just say that to say that doesn't always mean you're ready. It doesn't always mean you're ready. The only people for me are the mad ones, the ones who are mad to live, mad to talk, mad to be saved. This series of everything at the same time. The ones who never yawn or say commonplace thing. But what is Joe the Blacksmith talking about? Burn like the fabulous yellow Roman candles, exploding like spiders. Okay. Hey, listen. Shout out to you for typing all that, bro. Shout out to you for typing all of that. What do you think about the Chicago Bears moves, Haize? Off topic. It's not like, listen, this is no offense, Anthony. You're a great supporter. I love you. But I literally spend my whole day now talking about the Chicago Bears on the Chicago Bears channel. We've done 5 episodes today because of breaking news and because of the daily episode. There's more than enough thoughts over there. You can listen over there for my thoughts on the Bears. Real talk, bro. Like, stop being cheap. Go subscribe to Chicago Bears. No, I like them. I think they're solid moves overall. But if you want more detail than that, go over there. Haven't had too many fights that weren't on skates, but I remember a guy trying to start some shit with me in a shinny game, so I shot the puck at him in the nuts, dropped the gloves, and beat him up. First of all, that's crazy. But shout out to you. What Haize is saying is we need a generational big man and an all-star level shooter. That's not what I'm saying. What? No, that's not what I'm saying. If anybody reading this that live in Iraq after what happened yesterday on the first hot day of 2024, be safe out there. We ain't even made it to summer yet. Man, listen. Haize, if somehow DeMar ends up leaving us in free agency, looking for more money, do you see other teams in the league still offering him a big contract? Honestly, probably. I'm not even going to front on you. I think DeMar's going to get. I think he'll get the $20 million he's looking for out in the open market. I really do. I really do think that. Cade Cunningham went out of Detroit. Zach need to go. I'm more focused on the Bears right now. So, LOL. Love what you're doing. Keep it up, bro. Thank you for that, Travis. Appreciate you, brother. I'm amazed you read all that. My bad. That's hilarious. With the beginning of the season and all the injuries, it almost feels like we've had 3 different seasons in what that's listen. That's a goddamn fact, Jack. That is a fact right there. There's undisputable facts right there that you just spit. Facts. Who you got, Haize, in chat? Mike Tyson or Jake Paul? Come on, bro. You don't bet against Mike Tyson. Like Mike Tyson still. Remember that it was like a year or so ago, or maybe it was 2 or 3 years ago, where Mike Tyson he proved how hard he can still hit. That's crazy, man. That's crazy, bro. He better not lose to no Jake fucking Paul, bro. Come on, man. What are we talking about? Mike's a legend, absolute legend in this mug. But all right, so I'm gonna get ready to wrap up the pregame show. I know the lineups aren't out yet. I gotta get the kids' food just got delivered, so I gotta take care of that, man. Like I said, you almost didn't have a pregame show today, but I'll be back at halftime. So guys, stay tuned in for that. Subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed. We're the only truly daily Chicago Bulls podcast and YouTube channel in the land. So make sure you guys follow and subscribe for that. You can follow us at not Shy Bears. You can follow us at Bulls Central Pod. You can send us any feedback, questions, comments, concerns. Chicago Bears Central. See, I've been doing Bears content so much. bullcentralpod@gmail.com. Lastly, if you want to leave a text message and or voicemail, 773-270-2799. We are the number one spot for everything Chicago Bears. We're the number one spot for everything Chicago Bulls related. And I'll see you guys at halftime, y'all. Peace.